I'm really glad that you're here. Welcome to another unfiltered transmission. You might have just stumbled across this, you might be completely new here. This video is not a scripted video. This is not a video where I'm here to give you some special secret sauce or recipe to get everything that you want in your life. I'm here to show up completely raw and unfiltered from the moment and speak the truth that is within me to speak. And I believe and I know. Sound like I'm trying to convince myself there, but I'm remembering that I do know. There's a reason that you clicked on this video. So my invitation to you right now is to trust that impulse. Trust whatever brought you here. Take a breath, take a moment to just come and be in this space. There's something that you are here to receive. Not that I necessarily have some special answer, but just that in whatever's about to come through, in some way, some part of it is for you. So welcome. I have just been doing a set of questions that I have been asking myself fairly regularly for the last 4 or 5 years. I have this document that I share with my clients called Crafting Clarity, and it begins with the question, imagine that you had 10 years left to live. How would you spend them? This is the first time I've done this in maybe about 6 months to a year, and I got a very, very different response and answer this time compared with how I used to do it in the past. And so what this video is going to be about today is the insight and the realization that's come from that. Because right now I'm feeling a real shift and a real lightness. And I want to share with you this, because this is the point of these YouTube transmissions, these videos, is where I just come on here and I authentically express what's true in the moment, because so many of you and us and the people that come into my space and the people that I work with, we've been driving ourselves from pressure, from struggle, from survival, from proving, from performance, from scarcity, from lack, from unworthiness, our whole life. Really ask yourself this for a moment, because I'm going to make an assumption about you, that you're not new to the personal growth, spirituality, self-help, healing, personal growth world. You're the kind of person that knows what it is to want something and take action towards it. You're the kind of person that knows what it is to take responsibility for your life and to take action to change it and to actually create the things that you want to create, to take ownership of your patterns. You're not new to this, okay? How much of what you have been doing has been coming from fear, from lack, from survival, from pressure, from struggle, from I need to do this so that I'm okay, so that I'm enough, so that I'm worthy? Take a moment, really ask yourself that. Let me know in the comments, how much? Probably quite a lot, if not the majority. Maybe all of it? I doubt it's all of it, but it's probably quite close. When you really think about it. What happens when that pressure drops? What happens when you're no longer driving yourself from fear, from lack, from scarcity, from not enoughness? That's the question that in this space and in my world, I invite you into. Because the first thing that will happen, and this is where I'm going to come back to the questions in a moment. When you really go deep enough into that, when you really, really meet those parts of you that have been driving from survival and pressure and all these things that I've talked about already, and you start to give them what they need so that they can let go and finally feel safe. The drive that used to sustain you, the fuel that you used to use to drive you forward, starts to disappear. Right? The shame, the unworthiness, the fear, all of this stuff, the greed. When you don't have that fuel source anymore, you might find yourself in a bit of a moment of gap, in a recognition of, actually that stuff doesn't matter so much anymore. And what a lot of people get, and this is, you might have even found yourself in this phase before, because I thought I had already been through this, but as I'm about to tell you and share with my journey, I'm going through it in a new way right now, which is you come through this phase where it's like, the stuff I used to care about and the level and way I used to care about them don't matter so much, because the story underneath it, the wound, the fuel underneath it was not truth, was not wholeness, right? It was an illusion. It was a story that I'm lacking, that I'm broken, that I'm not enough, that I need to prove myself, that I need to perform. And for those who have been in my space for a while will know that I come from a high performance background. I went to boarding school. I was head boy at boarding school. I used to straight A student, sport, music, drama, whatever. I pushed myself to be the best at everything because I believed that if I wasn't the best at everything, I wasn't good enough. I wasn't worthy. And I burned out when I left school. And I kind of went on this pendulum swing of years of, taking drugs and partying and relaxing and enjoying myself. And it was amazing. And then I came into this calling, this mission that I've been on for the last 5-6 years. And the pressure came back. The pressure came back in a new form. The pressure came back in the form of, I'm on this mission and I'm here to change the world and I have to suffer and I have to push myself. And the identity of that became very strong. And in the last year, that identity has been falling apart in a whole new way. It's really been dissolving, and it's not been comfortable, it's not been easy. But it's given rise to this new phase of my work, which is this work of initiation, as I call it, taking a rite of passage into the life that calls you. But even now, where I am right now, it's different to what it was a few months ago, which is incredible. I'm kind of realizing this as I speak, because I would used to speak to you as if you are someone who resonates. I mean, you are, right? You have that pressure sense, that sense that I need to do something, I need to be better, I need to fix and improve and heal myself. But now what I'm sharing with you is the truth that there is nothing to fix, there's nothing to heal, there's nowhere to get to. You've already arrived. You are already it. There's nothing to prove. This is not just a lofty spiritual truth. This is the truth that you are ready to arrive at now. That your body and your nervous system is ready to receive and trust and begin to know what happens when that really lands. Who do you become? What do you create? These are the questions that in my world I invite you into. Because the first step will be spaciousness. The first step might be, I just want to live. I just want to live. And this is where I come back to those questions. I used to answer, if I had 10 years left to live, I would double down on my mission. It's time to go. I've got to create the biggest impact, the biggest legacy. I've got to save the world. I've got to do as much as I can in these 10 years. And it used to feel like excitement, like inspiration and drive. And now that I am where I am, I look back and I realize that was pressure. That was urgency. That was tension. That was fear in disguise. And that fear's not there anymore. It's not in the same way. So I was answering these questions and I was like, I just want to live. I want to love as deeply as I can. I want to create beautiful, alive, magnetic intimacy. Not just sexually and romantically, but with friends, with family. Like, I want to create beautiful connection. I want to build something that I care about, but in a relaxed, calm way where it's no longer this great, big, stressful thing that I have to do, right? It's just this natural, this is what I do. I'm here to create and express and build this thing. That's real freedom. And it's not freedom. That was my cacao about to come back up. Not really, it was a burp. But it's not freedom in the sense of like freedom from the world. It's freedom to be who I am, freedom to express, freedom to create without it needing to, oh dear, apologies, without it needing to mean something about me. And there's a spaciousness to that. There's a lightness to that. There's a magnetism to that. There's a depth to that. You start to become, instead of the starving artist, or let's imagine, this is the analogy that's coming through right now. Imagine you've got two actors. I used to act when I was younger, and one of the questions was, what did you used to love to do when you were a child that you have lost sight of? Well, for me, it was acting and performing and singing and being on stage. It's a desire that's coming back into my life right now in quite a strong way, which is really interesting. But imagine you've got two actors. One actor is absolutely desperate to be famous, just wants to be the center of attention, needs that validation, is chasing it, pursuing it, and you can feel it, right? The other actor just fucking loves to act. It's just there because it's who they are. They're there to express and do their thing. When they get on stage, which actor's performance are you going to feel deeper? Well, it's no question. It's obvious. It's obvious which one it is. It's the same with music, right? This is why I say that your work in this lifetime is to sing the song of your soul. Because we're all artists in our own way. You do have a unique expression, a unique essence that the world has never seen before, that you came forth to bring into existence, however you see fit. Sing the song of your soul. But notice how part of you believes or distorts that into some kind of pressure, into some kind of, I need to do this the right way, the best way, the proper way. I need to heal myself enough so that my song is good enough. Instead of just like, I'm a bird and I sing. I'm an actor and I perform. I'm an artist and I paint. I'm a leader and I lead. I'm a creator and I create. I'm a mother and I mother, right? I am and I do, and I am and I am. Like, it sounds so simple. And much of this stuff probably isn't new to you, but what happens when the concept of this really lands in your nervous system? How does that change things? And ironically, when you no longer need what you create to have such significance and meaning and impact anymore, that's when it's going to, again, come back to the artist on the stage. So what is available to you? What is available to you when you undo that pressure? When you release that valve? When you stop driving yourself from the lie that you're broken, you're unworthy, that you're not whole. These are the questions that in my world I invite you into, and not just invite you into, but guide you on a rite of passage into embodying in your life. And the people that I'm working with right now are some amazing people that have been on, lived very full, long lives, been on this journey for a long time, and are kind of coming into this realization now of like, there's nothing to fix, there's nowhere to go, but there's everything to create. And it's very simple work, but it's very deep as well. It's not always easy. As I say, like for me, the process of arriving where I am now, it's been pretty uncomfortable. And sometimes when the clients that I work with for a little bit of a longer time at the moment on embodying this stuff, it's like we come back to very simple things, and it's very simple work that can be a little bit uncomfortable, that begins to create this opening, this safety, this spaciousness, where suddenly something can land for you like it has for me today, and you realize I've changed in a really big way. Because along the way it feels quite subtle, but there'll come a moment where you suddenly recognize, I feel different. I feel safer. I feel freer. That's liberation. That's embodiment. And then, and this is the crucial point, then what do you do with that from there? Because the danger with this stuff, and I have shared this stuff before, but it's come from a much less embodied place. The danger of this is that you drift into float. You come into the spiritual bypass land where you chase the lightness and the good feeling, and you avoid doing the uncomfortable things that take you into your edge. But one of the things that you can learn from teachings from masculine energy, from masculine teachings, and I'm not talking about men or women, I'm talking about the masculine in all of us, is that direction, that follow through. That sometimes you just do the thing, even though it's uncomfortable and you have resistance, and on the other side of that is freedom, is liberation, is joy, is all the amazing things. So hear the lightness and the joy and the ease of what I'm saying here right now, but also notice the part of you that wants to go, oh, this feels so good. Right, I'm going to switch off my YouTube. I'm going to go and feel good about my day and just kind of do the same things. Well, there's a lot of people that quite often will comment on these videos like, I needed this. This is great. I resonate. And they still stay looping 3, 6, 12 months later, still kind of in the same patterns. And they're coming in this kind of loop, this cycle from moments of resonance and lightness into moments of heaviness and like, oh my God, everything's falling apart and I'm not where I want to be. And there's this oscillation there, right? Because there is a depth to this. There is a weight to it too. This is the paradox that a lot of people miss, is that they will pursue the lightness and the liberation and the freedom and think that that means no responsibility, think that that means there's never space or need or room for discomfort and for challenge and for follow through. But actually the real freedom comes in the unity of both. In the recognition that, yeah, ultimately you're just a human being. You're here for a blip on this earth. Your time is going to be gone like that. And the greatest impact that you could ever create will be gone. No one will remember it. Give it 1,000 years, 2,000 years, probably less for in fact, far less for most of us. Most of us won't even be remembered when we're dead. That's just the truth. 10, 15, 50 years after we're dead, most of us won't be remembered. So remember that. But then don't let that swing into nihilism, which is an avoidance of responsibility, into bypass. Because there is also this weight that comes with having a soul, with having a song to sing. That sometimes that means doing the uncomfortable thing. This freedom, this lightness that I'm feeling today, I'm able to recognize the reason that I'm able to feel it and that I'm living from it more and more and more is because of the many, many, many uncomfortable, difficult choices that I've made in the last particularly 6 years and especially the last 9 months. So let me know in the comments what this is bringing up for you, because there's really 2 points to this transmission here. One of them is what is possible when you let go of the pressure, and the other one is, let's rephrase that. What changes when you let go of the pressure? And what becomes possible when you still follow through on the things that matter to you, even when pressure isn't driving you anymore? That's the gold right there. That's the real gold. That's where a lot of people miss it, is that they kind of go either or. What changes when the pressure is no longer driving you? What becomes possible when you follow through anyway? If you feel that in your body right now, then welcome to my space. You are one of my people. You are one of the people that I'm calling in right now to serve, to create, to build with. Not from a place of pressure and performance and lack, but from deep truth, from the recognition that you are a wonderful, wonderful, unique soul with an essence that the world needs to see, that your soul came here to express and share. And if you feel that truth in your bones and you are getting that sense of, yeah, I want to deepen into this work. I want to go to that next level in my life, not from pressure and performance, but from truth, from liberation, and then see what I can create from that place. Then I want to invite you into my free session called The Crossing. This is a 25-minute conversation. I'm going to take you direct to the pattern in your life, whatever it is that's been showing up materially, physically, and show you where underneath it's been held together by this sense of performance proving, like whatever the wound is, right? And what you need to do to give that part of you permission to complete. That's just a free conversation. After that, I will invite you, if it resonates, into my one-to-one session, which is a 2-hour rite of passage called Initiation, where we'll create a clear transition point, a moment where that old version of you lets go and the new one begins to be born. And then from there, if you want to go deeper, we do embodiment work, and we can, some people go all in with me and work for up to a year and beyond. There's lots of options. The point I'm making is, if you feel this in your soul, the next step is to take some action towards it. And if you feel that I am the person to support you with that, then I just want to give you the pathway, which is booking The Crossing in the description below. And yeah, this is beautiful. It's a wonderful time to be alive, and it's a wonderful time to be in this space. So thank you for being here. Please do like, follow, subscribe. I'm about to run out of time, so I need to end this. Please do let me know in the comments what this brought up for you. Most importantly, don't just feel it, act on it, because that's how we really create the change. See you in the next one.